Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have something really interesting, really unique. I've kind of got a sickness where I peruse Craigslist, and according to the woman in my life, she calls me a Chumbawamba, and that in Swahili means trash picker. Now, I take a little bit of an offense to that, except she's right. If I see something in the trash that calls to me and says, please save me, I'll get out and get it. So maybe that's a name well-deserved. But today, that's what I was doing. I was perusing Craigslist, and I saw this amazing piece of Americana. And what this is a Vermont Castings, 1987 Vermont Castings Intrepid 2 wood stove. This was produced completely in America at the only American cast iron foundry made for hearth products, which was in Vermont when Vermont Castings owned it. So this is just super cool. And the quality of this thing is just absolutely amazing. It's a very small wood stove, but it is, I mean, you can just feel the weight on the doors. Everything is so heavy. This has got the top load feature, which is just really, really cool. I just enjoy modifying and restoring things. So if that's the kind of stuff you like, I think you'll enjoy the video. We're going to get to restoring this and seeing exactly if we can bring this thing back to life. I've already done a couple of test things here and on the top, and you can see, oh boy, this thing's heavy. You can see right here, there's just so much old, creosote and stuff. But right here, I started working on this to see what I could do, and it just brought it back to almost like it was from the factory. So I think this thing can be really cleaned up. I thought it was going to be in a lot worse shape. This stove does have a catalyst and a refractory chamber, so I'm not sure those are in good shape. From what I can see from the back, it looks like they may be. All right, so I got you a better angle here of the top of this thing, and this is the flip up top, the top load feature. This is also a cook plate where you can cook or put one of those stove fans or whatever you want, a tea kettle to help add humidity to the air. But I say this is as good a place to start as any. So right now the stove has kind of a weird stale sweet smoke smell. I think it's the creosote because you can smell it really strongly when you smell things. And it's going to be a lot of work to get the whole inside of the stove to look like this. But I think we're going to have to do this, or when it's actually hooked up to the stainless liner and everything inside the house, if there's any downdraft from a wind or a really cold day, it may push, kind of this smell that I'm smelling out here into the house. So I say, let's start right here, and I'll show you how we'll take this off, put it down on the ground. I'll show you how we start doing this, and we'll just keep working on it. So we're going to take this square next to it, and the really cool thing is it's got all this, cast writing on here, and what you can really see from a Vermont Castings of this era that's so much different than, say, like the stove I have inside that's a brand new EPA certified logwood stove, is the casting is just perfect. Like the one inside, you can tell like imported castings are just not as good as what, American workers back in the day, came out of their factories. So anyway, it's kind of neat to kind of look at the different, warning labels and everything that they were cast right in. So let's take this section here. And what I do is we're going to let that just soak a second, start getting on that creosote. Let's get started. All right, hopefully you can see this in this light, but now you can actually read everything. And what I found is once the initial stuff's off, a good stiff like wire battery brush does the best to just, and it takes it back almost to like factory, the way it was came from the factory, which is pretty amazing. So I want to also show you, I've been doing some test spots over here on the actual stove. So let me show you that, and then I'm going to keep working on it, and we'll catch up later. All right, so I don't know if you can see this, but this whole this whole side looked just like this right here. And so I just kind of hit it with a wire brush and a little bit of alcohol to wipe off the dust, and it's coming back to a factory patina. So I'm kind of really excited about this. I'm going to keep working on all this, and we'll catch up in a little bit. All right, so I had to move the operation outside because there's just too much dust coming off of this. So just going to set the camera up, and you can kind of see this whole half looks almost factory fresh. Just that this side came out as well as it did, I don't think we're going to have a problem anywhere. But anyway, I'm just going to keep going here. So, ran into an issue, and this needs to be replaced anyway. But as I was trying to clean in here, you really can't get in here without getting this gasket up. So this is going to be replaced anyway, but I'm just going to leave it for right now because I'd like to do some test firing on it. But you can see that this half of the stove has been brought back to factory finish without having to be repainted or anything, using a more gentle technique with a soft brush, a soft wire brush, and just a little elbow grease. So. All right, guys, so here we are at the end of the day, and it's a huge transformation. The only areas, it's stunning. I thought that I was going to have to possibly sandblast it and repaint it, and I was able to save this original bluish enamel paint. It probably doesn't look super blue on camera. It actually looks more like a charcoal blue in person, but it's actually got a blue tint to it. So it's the end of the day, and my hand is pretty cramped up because I'm basically using a brush that's a little bit bigger than a toothbrush. And the only thing that I didn't really get are these areas right in here, because the glass is there and I don't want to damage that glass. It's really expensive. So what I'm probably going to have to do is reach inside. You can remove the glass, by taking this heat shield off, and then there's a few screws and the glass will come out. And then I got to figure out how to get in here and really get this stuff and get behind a little bit behind the hinges here and things like that. But all in all, 95% of it is done, and it's looking like it came off the factory floor in 1987. So I'm astonished that just a soft wire brush and some elbow grease, actually a lot of elbow grease, would get it to this level. But anyway, I think it turned out great. And now what I'm going to do is I'm working on the inside, which has got a lot of that creosote buildup from, I guess, whoever was burning it all these decades. It's got a really funky smell to it. You can smell that stale creosote. So I've knocked most of it off with the brush. I'm going to go ahead and start removing the ashtray, the grates, everything else, and start to sweep it now. So anyway, thanks for watching the video.